Welcome back to Grammar Grade 10. This is Unit 4, Lesson 25, and today we start building sentences out of clauses. Some sentences carry one complete thought. Others carry two, stitched together into a single line. Learning to tell those two shapes apart will make your writing clearer and your punctuation correct. And there is one famous trap waiting for us near the end, one that catches almost every writer at least once. Let's get into it. Before we can count sentences, we have to count clauses. A main clause has a subject and a verb, and it can stand alone as a complete sentence. Look at this one. The lighthouse blinked. There is your subject, lighthouse, and there is your verb, blinked, and nothing at all is missing. Say it out loud and walk away, and the thought is finished. That is a main clause. And here is why it matters so much today. The whole lesson today comes down to counting main clauses. One of them, or more than one. So here is our first shape, this simple sentence. A simple sentence has exactly one main clause, and no subordinate clause hanging off it. The old ferry groaned across the harbor. One subject, the ferry. One verb, groaned. One complete thought, and that is all. Or try this one. Maya sketched the bridge at sunrise. Same shape exactly. Now, notice something important. A simple sentence is not always short. You can pile on adjectives and prepositional phrases as long as you like, and the sentence stays simple because you still have only one main clause. Length is not the test. Clause count is the test. Now the second shape, the compound sentence. A compound sentence has two or more main clauses. Watch this. Here is one complete sentence. The tide rose quickly. And here is another one. The gulls scattered. Each of those stands on its own 2 feet. Now I join them with a comma and the little word and. The first clause keeps its own subject and its own verb. The second clause keeps its own subject and its own verb too. Each side could walk away from the other and still be a sentence. And that is exactly what makes this one compound. Two complete thoughts joined into a single sentence. If a compound sentence is two main clauses joined together, then the obvious question is, joined how? There are 3 ways, and you want all 3 of them in your toolkit. Number 1, a comma plus a coordinating conjunction. Those conjunctions are and, but, or, nor, for, so, and yet. The rain stopped, but the field stayed soaked. Comma first, then the conjunction. Number 2, a semicolon, standing all by itself, with no conjunction anywhere. The semicolon does the whole job of joining, and the 2 clauses simply sit side by side. Number 3, a semicolon followed by a conjunctive adverb, a word like however, therefore, or moreover, and then a comma right after it. Semicolon before the adverb, comma after the adverb. Same 2 clauses every time, 3 different joins. Now the trap that catches almost everyone. Remember compound subjects and compound predicates? A simple sentence is completely allowed to have them. Look at this. Dad chopped the onions and stirred the pot. There are 2 verbs in there, chopped and stirred. But hunt for a second subject and you will not find one. There is only one subject, Dad, and he is doing both actions. 2 verbs sharing one subject is a compound predicate, and a compound predicate lives happily inside a simple sentence. Still one main clause. Now watch me change it. Dad chopped the onions and Mia stirred the pot. Suddenly, the second half has its own subject, Mia, and its own verb, stirred. So now we have two main clauses, and the sentence is compound. That second half could walk away and be a whole sentence by itself. And notice the comma. It arrives only when a real second clause arrives. Never put a comma before and when you only have a compound predicate. Let's turn all of that into a check you can run in a few seconds. Step 1. Find every subject and verb pair in the sentence. Step 2. Ask whether each side could stand alone as its own sentence. If a piece has a verb but no subject of its own, it is not a clause at all. It is just part of one. Step 3. Count what is left. One main clause means the sentence is simple. Two or more means compound. And then you make sure the join is right. Comma plus conjunction, semicolon alone, or semicolon plus conjunctive adverb plus comma. Run that check every time, and this stops being a trap. Ready to practice? Time to practice. In this first set, I will read you a sentence, and you decide. Is it simple, with just one main clause, or compound, with two or more? Pause the video and commit to an answer before I reveal each one. Whales surfaced near the boat, and the tourists cheered. Check each side separately. Whales surfaced is a subject and a verb. The tourists cheered is another subject and another verb. Both halves would stand alone, and a comma plus the word and joins them. So this one is compound. The chef seasoned the soup and tasted it again. Careful here. There are two verbs, seasoned and tasted, so go hunting for a second subject. There is not one. Tasted it again cannot stand alone as a sentence. That is a compound predicate, so the sentence is simple. The bell rang, semicolon. The hallway filled instantly. The bell rang stands alone. The hallway filled instantly stands alone. A semicolon can join two main clauses with no conjunction at all, so this sentence is compound. Set 2 turns up the difficulty. Every sentence here has something inside it that looks like a second clause. Your job is to check whether that second piece really carries its own subject and its own verb. Pause, decide, then listen. Owls and bats hunt after dark. Two creatures. So is that two clauses? No. Owls and bats is a compound subject, and they share the single verb hunt. One subject slot, one verb, one main clause. The sentence is simple. I studied for hours, semicolon. Therefore, comma, I felt ready. That is our third joining method. I studied for hours is a main clause. I felt ready is a main clause. Therefore is a conjunctive adverb sitting between a semicolon and a comma. Two main clauses are joined, so the sentence is compound. The old radio crackled, hissed, and finally went silent. All those commas make it look compound, but count the subjects. There is only one, the radio. It simply does three things in a row. Three verbs sharing a single subject is a compound predicate, and that keeps the sentence simple. Let's pull it all together. A simple sentence has exactly one main clause. It may have a compound subject, or a compound predicate, or even both, and it is still simple because there is still only one clause. A compound sentence has two or more main clauses, each one carrying its own subject and its own verb, each one able to stand alone. And you join those clauses one of three ways: a comma plus a coordinating conjunction, a semicolon by itself, or a semicolon plus a conjunctive adverb plus a comma. Count the clauses and the punctuation takes care of itself. In our next lesson, we will add subordinate clauses to the mix and meet the complex sentence. See you there.